Well, there's big doings around here this weekend and this week coming up. We're finally gonna pour slab. I took it upon myself last week to pull the mill out and get it all cleaned up because it was so dirty in here that you couldn't even walk. The sawdust was so deep. So we pulled the mill out and we cleaned it all up. And then all of a sudden they redid the road down the road from me. They ground up the old road and put down new asphalt, and they asked me if I wanted some used millings, some recycled millings. So I said sure. So they left 4 loads of this stuff on my property, and I use millings all the time, but I usually get double ground millings. These are, you know, straight off the road. They got the big chunks in them, but they're free and they're good for a base because the big chunks and the coarser grind hold up to the mud pretty well and don't get pushed down in the mud as hard. So anyway, we're built up down here about 8 inches because this barn's built on a slope. And then here's my line here for the top of the slab. I don't know if you can see that. We're going to do a 6-inch slab. And what I'm doing in all these openings is I'm going to dig a trench, dig a footer, and then put my form on the outside and then run the footer down about 1 foot into the ground, so that turns down into the ground and offers more strength for when you're rolling over the edge here with tractors and the sawmill and stuff like that, and also keeps the water from going in there. So this one's going to get a big trench all the way down. This is my big opening for the where I bring the logs in. So we're going to dig a trench there and dig a footer, put some rebar in there, and make a grade beam out of it. And so I'm going to go with fiberglass, concrete, rebar, and wire, all of the above, because that mill's kind of heavy and you only got 4 or 6 legs coming down, and you got the saw head going back and forth, and then you throw a 3,000 or 4,000 pound log on there and the vibration, the whole 9 yards. And you know, we already got all the tools out. We might as well do it right. It ain't gonna matter money wise down the road too much whether I put the fiberglass in it. It's only like $10 more a yard. So I will fire this back up tomorrow. Oh, by the way, as far as these recycled millings for a base for concrete, a substrate, I would not recommend it. It is a big pain in the ass. All we've been doing is picking chunks out all day, and I knew I'd have to do it somewhat, but I'm kind of a perfectionist, and I don't like dips and coarse spots, and when you try to rake it, it gets a big snag in it, and it's just a pain in the ass to work with. So it's good for a first layer for a road, but it's not really good for working with tools. It's a pain in the butt. So it'll work here, but I wouldn't recommend it in the future. So anywho, alrighty, it's Saturday morning, 10:30. The guys just left from putting down the rebar and the plastic. I got this thing on grade yesterday. What we did here is we got rebar in there, propped up off the bottom about 1 inch, rested up on some pieces of millings. And we got the wire, and all these forms are on grade, so the top of that board is where the slab's going to be. And then what we did here on the edge, like I was saying, is we dug a big old ditch along here, and that's about 2 foot deep down in this ditch. And so when you're bringing logs in with your machine and driving up on the edge, you got that big old beam there is going to carry that load. We're going to put some rebar down in there, and it's also going to keep water from coming and getting up under the slab. So think that's a good idea. I can't take credit for it. My concrete guy said you don't want the water getting under there. So yeah, we're all ready to pour it on Monday morning. The concrete truck's going to be here at 8 a.m. It's probably going to take about 15 yards. I'm going to go ahead and have them put the fiberglass in it, 4,000 psi concrete, and we got plenty of steel in it. So excited to get this thing knocked out. So it's gonna be cool. And then down the road, I'm gonna go ahead and put a slab on the inside, but that's down the road. So after this all said and done, I'll build up to this all the way around with some gravel, and the water ought to shed off nicely. This is my high point right here, and we're, I don't know, 3 inches above that. I might have to scour down a little bit, but and also think I'm gonna put a gutter up here. I think that's gonna help with the water. But anyhow, we're ready for the pour, all prepped and ready. It's Saturday. Truck's gonna come in Monday. I'll give you an update then. Daughter wanted to watch when she had school. I said I videotaped some for her.
Oh, okay.
She says, "How's it? I don't understand how it's wet at first." It comes out the truck wet and it turns hard.
You on the computer?
Kind of like cake mix.
You on the computer?
Yeah, she's on Zoom, and then my other one had a doctor's appointment. Alrighty, we have a slab. She's shining. Let's see, Ava. He didn't erase some of it. It's good. Huh? It's fine.
I can't see my palm.
It was not much of an impression anyway. Wait until it dries. It'll turn nice and kind of chalky gray. But man, that sawmill, that sawdust is gonna blow right off of there, right? We won't have to dig at it with a shovel anymore. And they did a great job. Beautiful. Shiny. So next day, she's set up pretty good. Nice and walkable. Ugh. That's going to be so much better to sweep up the sawdust and clean up, to have this on here and have the mill on something solid. So now I just got to take all these forms off. We got rain coming tomorrow. I don't know if I'll get into this one, but take those off, and then I got to build up the grade to this. I mean, that's probably that's about a 14-inch difference right there. So I'm gonna have to build that way out. We're gonna get a garage door in here, 8x8, and then that'll keep the weather out from the north, any blowing wind or anything like that. And this still gets a corner piece, and then I need to get some fascia on this thing and get a gutter on here so it stops rolling down. And with rain coming tomorrow, I got to get these forms off of here and really get all this dirt that they dug out for the ditch out of here, so that doesn't turn into a bunch of mud, and do some backfill on this thing with millings so that the water doesn't creep under there, and do a lot of raking and grading out here. So that's where it's at right now. It's a beautiful day, but that's going to change here overnight and start raining all day tomorrow. But yeah, it's looking good. It's coming along. That's going to be a great addition for the new mill that's coming. Oops, did I say new mill? Yep, just ordered a new mill. I guess you'll have to stay tuned to see what I'm getting.